AARO just dropped 3 new UFO videos. 2 remain unresolved, and everything whistleblowers have been warning us about might explain why.
Sentire le parole che abbiamo sentito a quel convegno mentre è tutto davanti ai nostri occhi, no?
La lezione di Trump, no? Se ti ricordi, la prima volta che venne eletto, lui radunò tutte le persone, diede dei numeri alla prima adunata enormi, migliaia e migliaia di persone. Naturalmente bastò un drone, fece la foto da sopra e uscirono fuori i numeri reali, che erano 10 volte minori. E la stampa all'epoca protestò, quella stampa che oggi se ne va con gli scatoloni dalla Casa Bianca, no? La stampa all'epoca
dal Pentagono, perché
certo.
Dice che ci sono delle norme restrittive per cui io non posso più dare le notizie, no?
Il Ministero della Difesa deve timbrare le notizie, ecco, questi che se ne vanno dal Pentagono.
Incredibile.
E fecero le domande, la portavoce di Trump disse: va bene, ma questi numeri che sono? In fondo il Presidente ha dato solo una verità alternativa. Alternativa a cosa? Alla realtà.
Viviamo quindi nel mondo in cui un fatto vale un altro fatto, non c'è più il vero e il falso, ma c'è il mio fatto contro il tuo fatto.
Io la rovescio, viviamo in un mondo in cui noi decidiamo cosa è vero e cosa è falso sulla base di quello che vogliamo sentire.
On December 4th, 2025, the Pentagon's All-Domain Anomaly Resolution Office, known as AARO, released 3 new UFO videos to the public. And I'm going to break down what they show, what AARO is saying about them, and why their conclusions might be raising eyebrows, given what insiders have told us about how this office actually operates. 3 videos from the United States European Command, all captured by U.S. military assets. 2 are classified as unresolved. 1 was resolved as birds. Now, let's start with the unresolved cases. The first one, designated PR018, consists of 10 minutes and 30 seconds of infrared footage captured in 2024 from a U.S. military platform in Europe. AARO states, and I quote, that they assess with high confidence the footage depicts the presence of a physical object. So they confirmed it's real, they confirmed it's physical, and it was recorded by military sensors. But then they say the object's morphological features, performance characteristics, and behaviors are unremarkable and do not warrant further analysis. Many people say it looks like a bug. But does it look like a bug with fluttering wings to you? The second unresolved case, PR017, is 30 seconds of footage from a commercially available cell phone camera, also from Europe in 2024. AARO says the video footage is insignificant to render a determination on its subject matter. And you know what? They're actually right on this one. There's not really that much to this video. AARO stated that this case will stay open, but there are no conclusions. You know what? It's just another disappointing video. But then again, can you expect AARO to even deliver the goods? We'll actually get into that a little bit later. The third video, PR016, was resolved. 25 seconds of infrared footage from 2023 showing objects AARO identifies as almost certainly birds, with greater than 95% likelihood. They cite wing beat patterns and flight formations as their reasoning. Wow, wasn't that just invigorating? We got UFO videos from AARO. Just kidding. No, that was very lame. But what is important, however, is the context. Earlier this year, a whistleblower named Matthew Brown went public with serious allegations about AARO. And Brown worked in the office of the Undersecretary of Defense for Intelligence and Security. And this is the office that AARO reports to. Brown claimed he read classified transcripts of the then AARO director Sean Kirkpatrick briefing senators about UAP investigations. And according to Brown, what he read was not transparency. It was actually misdirection.
When I was in USDI, I read the transcripts of Sean Kirkpatrick briefing Senator Rubio, Senator Warren, and Senator Gillibrand on the results of his investigation in his congressionally tasked AARO report. Mm-hmm. And those transcripts, which were supposed to be open kimono, here's the truth. Sean Kirkpatrick absolutely distorted, downplayed, and can't prove it, but I would say outright lied to the people who have direct responsibility for him.
Saying what? What did he say that was a lie?
So it's more of a lie of the whole thing.
Picture?
The big picture, right? Mm-hmm. In the meeting, it's, Congressman Rubio, we've heard about this incident. We just don't have enough data to go on it to really know what this is. We don't have any way of really figuring out what's going on. It could just be an anomaly. In fact, it's most likely an anomaly.
Brown described the briefings as consistently dismissive, acknowledging that there is data, then pivot to saying there isn't enough to make a real determination. Doesn't that kind of sound familiar? That is exactly what we're seeing with these new video releases. Yes, it is a physical object. No, we will not look further into it. Yes, we have footage. No, it's not enough to conclude anything. Brown also described a specific moment in these transcripts that really shook him. The discussion turned to what insiders call the legacy program. And this is the alleged long-running crash retrieval and reverse engineering effort that David Grush testified about before Congress. And according to Brown, Senator Marco Rubio's response to what he heard was pretty direct. And you know what? Marco Rubio has been in the news lately when it comes to UFOs and did a whole show on it in yesterday's UFO News Update.
My blood ran cold at a specific point in that transcript where Mr. Rubio is discussing the legacy program. This was a subject of direct discussion with Sean Kirkpatrick in these meetings. And based on Mr. Kirkpatrick's replies about as vague as they were, but unable to escape the truth of the legacy program, Mr. Rubio's response was, well, what the hell is the executive branch doing? Have they been running this for 60 years without congressional oversight? I might be paraphrasing a little, but that's near enough verbatim. And I saw that line, and I basically closed that file and had a pretty sleepless night.
He told Jeremy Corbell and George Knapp that he was scared. Not angry, but scared because he realized the cover-up was real. But Matthew Brown is not the only one raising concerns about AARO. Dr. James Lakatsky ran AAWSAP, the Advanced Aerospace Weapons System Applications Program, and this was the largest acknowledged government UFO study group in history. He also managed the follow-up program called Kona Blue. In November, Lakatsky sat down with George Knapp and Jeremy Corbell on Weaponize, and here are their statements about AARO.
Well, guess what?
AARO is a disinformation campaign you're coming to realize by their public statements and how they're talking about a program that you have knowledge of, that they're completely lying to the American public. That is
well, I wouldn't use the word completely lying. That's not how counterintelligence work. There's some truth, there's some false, but you said it very clearly, steering the direction of the conversation. Because let me tell you, you've been misdirected on the internet time and time again.
Lakatsky also stated that deliberately false documents about AAWSAP and Kona Blue have been created and are now sitting in government files. He said he reported some of this to the Department of Defense Inspector General.
The response from the deputy director, They were looking for werewolves. The second response was Kona Blue was established as the home for all these paranormal UFO crap. Now, that's from the deputy director of AARO. Now, that is a very objective view at UFOs.
But here is where it gets even more interesting. Current AARO Director John Koslowski testified before Congress, and he admitted that AARO has cases that he cannot understand.
There are a few triangles that have been seen by local law enforcement.
These are glowing triangles in the sky.
In this case, very, very black triangle, triangular prism. So it looks like a pie slice, hovering about the size of a Prius, about 40 to 60 meters away. So as the officer was driving up to investigate underneath a glowing orb, he slammed on his brakes, and this thing the size of a Prius, blacker than black, reared up 45 degrees and then shot up into the sky faster than anything he'd ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
And as it was leaving his sight, it shot out red and blue fireworks, flares, so bright it lit up the inside of his vehicle. He didn't see any propulsion, no wind, didn't hear anything over the sound of his own vehicle.
And you have more than one of these sightings?
We have a few others, one from local law enforcement, some from the...
He was not able to get a picture.
No, I thought...
No dash cam, unfortunately.
So on one hand, AARO admits they have genuinely anomalous cases that they can't explain. On the other hand, they release footage of confirmed physical objects and say they do not warrant further analysis.
In my opinion, you all are in the middle of what I can only describe as a major and repetitive counterintelligence operation by unknown multiple operators or organizations and for unknown reasons.
Think about that. The man who ran the Pentagon's largest UFO program is saying that we're all caught in counterintelligence operation. Multiple operators, unknown reasons, and no one can explain why these programs matter so much and that they require active suppression. Those UAP videos released by AARO are looking more and more suspicious. Let's put this all into perspective. AARO was created by Congress specifically to investigate UAP. That's their job. They were given resources, authority, and a mandate to find answers. Yet, here we are. 3 new UFO videos, 1 resolved as birds, 2 unresolved, and one of those unresolved cases involves 10 minutes of military infrared footage showing a confirmed physical object. But many people think that that one looks a lot like a bug. Also keep in mind that the word resolution is in their title. Their job is to resolve these cases, just like the way Project Blue Book did. AARO says these unresolved reports contribute to their historical and local trend analysis. That is bureaucratic language for saying that we'll just add it to our database. But if Brown and Lakatsky are right, and AARO is more interested in managing perception than finding answers, then these video releases might be less about transparency and more about just checking the box. I will continue tracking this. More videos may come, more whistleblowers may step forward, and Congress still has oversight authority that they can choose to exercise.
problema siamo noi. Il problema siamo noi che, hai visto, la cosa più interessante del servizio che avete fatto erano le fonti. Cioè le fonti dicono, le fonti ufficiali, istituzionali, chi ha fatto i conti dicono che è stata una... Allora questa è la realtà. Il punto è, ci va a noi di accettare la realtà? O siccome la realtà ci fa male, ne vogliamo un'altra, che ci inventiamo? Troviamo i politici che ti dicono sì, hai ragione, ti inventati un mondo come ti pare, inventati un mondo in cui facevano i funerali alle bambole, perché no? Te lo dico io, votami.
Certo.
Il problema siamo noi che poi li votiamo davvero.